everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. Today I'm starting something new. I've decided the entire month of October I'm gonna do one pumpkin recipe a week, either homemade or something store-bought that needs minimal ingredients, and I'm gonna let you know where you can find them, what ingredients you need, and I'm gonna show you how to make them. The recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you today is actually for a pumpkin soup. I fell in love with this soup when we lived overseas in Germany. They serve it at all of their local fall festivals. They have amazing pumpkin bratwurst. If you can imagine it, it is literally one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. We miss it so much. They had so many pumpkin drinks, pumpkin bakery items. Amazing. So if you can go to Europe in the fall or the winter for Christmas markets, I highly encourage you to do it. It is just, if I could eat my way through the world, I literally would. Like, if that could be my job, sign me up. So with this recipe, it should go fairly quickly. It's a 20-minute pumpkin soup. I'm going to try to keep it in 20 minutes. I'm kind of converting two recipes together. One that I found that is a German recipe, because I want it to be as close to how they made it, because literally, I'm not kidding when I tell you, melt in your mouth, amazing. You don't really have to like pumpkin soup. It's not like pumpkin spice, like they make everything pumpkin spice nowadays. It's more mild, kind of like a butternut squash soup, but more pumpkin, if that makes sense. I'm rambling, but literally it's so easy. Half the ingredients you'll probably have in your house, so let's get started. To get started, I'm going to start measuring out some of my ingredients. I found it's easier to mix your seasonings and your spices at the same time. That way you can add them all at one time and you're not trying to measure out a bunch of different spices while you're trying to cook. Unless your recipe calls and tells you to do it a specific way, this way is definitely the easiest. So I'm just going to give my onion kind of a rough chop, and I will be grating my garlic. I am going to be adding this once the soup is fully cooked to my food processor, because the consistency that I am looking for is smooth with little to no chunks in it. But you certainly can skip this step if you do like kind of a thicker soup. But for me, the way I had it over in Germany, it was very, very smooth, and that's just the way I like it. But that is totally your preference, so go with whatever you choose. So I added my olive oil to the pan along with my aromatics, and I'm just going to saute them for about 3 to 5 minutes once you see the onions turn a little bit translucent. And then I'm going to add my pumpkin and my spices and mix it all together for a couple more minutes, and then I'll add the vegetable broth to kind of finish off the soup. to let my soup simmer and cook for about 5 to 8 minutes before I add the cream. Once I add the cream, I just want to finish it off by mixing it up and making sure everything is warmed through nicely. And right here, you can give it a taste. Make sure you have enough salt. I tend to add a little bit less salt because when my kids are eating it, but we always add more if we need it to our own bowls. So I am adding my soup to my food processor. It's still pretty warm, so be careful not to burn yourself. If you do have an emulsion blender, that would be ideal. I, however, do not, because I typically don't make very smooth soups except for this one. So your food processor or your food blender will do just fine. The emulsion blender is just pretty good for minimal cleanup, and you can blend it directly in the pot. Next up is just about plating it and presentation. I always love serving this soup with any type of crusty bread. You could do a baguette with butter. I just had some Sprout, like the Dave's Killer bread on hand, and I added a little bit of butter and Parmesan. It just adds like the perfect amount of salt to the dish. So you could use just plain old sandwich bread. A baguette is my favorite because the crustier the better, but any carb will do. You guys, there you have it. Literally one of the easiest soups ever. You can garnish it however you want. I just added a little bit of cream and pepitas. If you enjoyed this video, as you know, please like and subscribe, leave me some comments, and stay tuned for my next pumpkin video.